What was your biggest shut, my parents were right moment? Not all your friends need to be forever friends. Some people are just meant to be your friend for that particular time in your life. I really wish someone had told me that when I was in college. I held on to my past and never made new friends. My girlfriend did the same thing. Now most of her friends are my friends that I introduced her to. Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other gold. You need to sleep more. Dad, heat never goes past 68. If you're cold, put on a sweatshirt. Own house with roommates. Set heat at 75. Enjoy a tropical month. Get first heating bill. Promptly lock thermostat to 68. Roommate whined. Told her to put on a sweatshirt. I had to look it up, but 68 Fahrenheit is 20 Celsius. What kind of massive pussy thinks 20 Celsius is cold? You can't fly with the eagles if you sleep with the pigeons. Turns out the wrong friends really can hold you back and drag you down. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. This is an excellent phrase. When I use it on my kids, I shall pretend I thought of it. Thanks. That's the wrong room. Don't spend time with your children. Those idiotic ducks. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But, I don't even hang out with 5 people, sigh. You are the average of the 4 people you spend the most time with. You are you. Be careful with credit cards. Not so much my parents were right as holy shit, that was his plan. I have a 5-year-old and live in Texas. Mowing the lawn is a bitch in the summer heat. I'm mowing the lawn one summer and my 5-year-old is peeking through the window from inside the air-conditioned house drinking a juice box. I think to myself, damn, I can't wait for the boy to be old enough to do this bullshit. I should get him one of those bubble blowing lawn mowers to get him used to the idea. Then it hit me. My parents had a picture of me following my dad mowing the lawn with my little toy mower, which in retrospect is super dangerous. I'm lucky I didn't get hit with a rock or something. The old man wasn't trying to spend time with me, he was training his replacement. It really is nice to just clean up as you make a mess instead of living in your own filth. Can confirm. Even a half-assed clean as you go is exponentially infinitely better than nothing. Actually, we are really cool parents. Turned out to be true. They were really awesome parents to have. Yeah, I didn't realize just how lucky I was to have the parents I did until I found out about how some other people's parents were. I grew up in a middle-class home with both parents around, and neither one of them was abusive, mean, or overly strict. I was, and still am, very fortunate, and it took growing up a bit to realize that. I think one of the biggest wake-up calls to me was during my freshman year of college, when I was complaining to someone else about how annoying my father was for nagging me about going out too late on weeknights when I was 19. The other person replied, "At least your dad didn't throw you down a flight of stairs when you were 4 and leave you when you were 6. During my weekly call from my dad on Wednesdays, exactly at 7 PM for 20 plus years, you know, someday you are going to miss our conversations. Good damn it, Dad. Don't balance the full can of orange paint of the roof like that. The duck are you doing on the roof with a full can of orange paint? And where do you keep your orange paint, Mr. Fancy Shelves?" My dad was always on me to budget everything. At 30 I understand it. Parents do not talk to their children enough about finances. Good for you and your folks, those are important lessons to learn. Said to me as a young teenager, I know it's hard to imagine now, but the age of 40 really isn't that far away. Before you know it, you'll hit 40 and wonder how that happened so fast. It's really quite simple. How many memories do you have from age 17? Now how many memories do you have from 35? Not as many? There you go. When you're older you stop doing fun stuff. Every single day is the same as the last. Nothing to remember. So your life becomes forgettable. And time passes quicker. Vegetables are actually pretty good. Spinach is delicious. Celery can still go die in a fire, though. At age 18 you'll know everything. By age 25 you'll realize the world isn't as simple as you think. By 30 you'll be frightened that people trust your opinion when you know you don't know very much about a subject. I was doing an entrance interview at a place. It's great to have you here, someone with experience. Someone who can help guide our design decisions, who can mentor some of the younger engineers. I'm thinking, wait, are you talking about me? Holy shit, there's only you and me in this room, so you must mean me. Dad left me with something cool before he died. Wanting to duck somebody over and over for the rest of your life isn't love. Wanting to be with somebody for the rest of your life, no matter how many times life ducks you both over and over though, could be. I'm so excited for my socks that should be arriving today. My mother always told me I'd be grateful for gifts of clothes. I never believed her. You are so right. When I was about 10, maybe 11, my mom let us open one gift on Christmas Eve like she always did. It was socks and bath beads. I wailed, I screamed, I made an ass out of myself. In hindsight, I ducking loved those socks, and bath beads make me tear up now as a 45-year-old grown-ass woman. I would give anything for my mom to be here to give me socks for Christmas again. When you turn 25 you'll start getting a gut. You won't always be able to eat like that. You shouldn't eat an entire cake, it isn't good for you. First thing I did when I moved out from my parents' house was buy a cake and eat it, all of it. Because I was an adult and I could do what I want. It hurt. That means you're not doing it enough. You gotta eat more to build up a tolerance. Like drinking. Stop hanging out with those girls. I have a bad feeling about them. What bad stuff ended up happening to those girls? One was an emotional wreck who dragged me into all sorts of drama, and the other turned out to be very manipulative and backstabbing. So they turned 16. My ex-boyfriend was an asshole. My ex-girlfriend was crazy. Dad, go to college and get a degree. You don't want to work like this your whole life. Went to college, ducked around, didn't get degree. Currently working the way he said I didn't want to work my whole life. He was right, this sucks. My dad always told me not to be in a rush to grow up. I wanted to be 16 so I could drive, 18 so I could go on those porn websites, 21 so I could go to the bars. Now I'm 30 and I wish I was 12. 18 so I could go on those porn websites. Should we tell him? Nah, he's 30 now. He'll be fine. Math is cumulative, they said. If you don't do your homework every day, you'll be lost at finals, they said. Will this exam be cumulative? Life is cumulative. I was driving a little too fast. My mom told me to slow down. I said, nah, it's fine, I never get pulled over. 25 seconds later I see police lights behind me. How smug was she? She probably said slow down because she saw the speed trap and he didn't. You'll hate everybody you work with if you're trying to get into film. I know you like movies and like making them, but most of the people you'll have to deal with will be insufferable. You just don't understand me. One day into my intro to film studies course, and I couldn't take it anymore. I never looked back. As a former film editor, I can attest to this. The film world is full of pretentious self-made assholes who always know better than you do about everything. Perfect, I'll fit right in. I liked a girl that was way out of my league in college. Told my mom about the bad crush and how I thought I would just move on. She said, you can fail at something you don't want, so you might as well fail at something that matters. We've been married for 3 years this November. The crush, not my mother and I. You'll need a plunger in your new house. At first I wondered why I would even need one, since we never used it at all in my old house. Immediately regret not getting one when shit got real. A plunger is one of the things you absolutely must buy before you need it. Don't stress growing up, enjoy your time as a child. Childhood includes your early 20s, right? Well, they say you're not really an adult until 25, so yeah. 30 here and still not sure when that whole adulting thing starts. You're lucky your parents still kiss. They would always tell me that after I got grossed out when they kissed as a little kid. I didn't really realize the huge truth behind that until I started going to friends' houses more and seeing their parents almost always argue and stay in separate rooms or something like that. Be thankful your parents smooch, goddammit. I'm 19 years old and I can honestly say I've never seen my parents kiss before. Clean your room. Wash your clothes. Brush the cat. Clear your internet search history. My mum told me that I get to choose the person I become. All you have to do is to keep that thought in your head when making decisions. Also, every action has a reaction, so make sure that reaction will be a good one. It wasn't something I really listened to at the time. Now those thoughts stay with me all the time, and I have definitely become a better person for it. A phrase my mom always said to cheer me up while stressed in university: if it was easy everybody would do it. Sounded so stupid at the time, but I've used the same line to cheer up countless friends who were stressed with exams etc. Mom is always right. Don't trust modern Pyrex. OMG yes. You want the old completely clear Pyrex, not the new shutty Chinese stuff that has a bluish tint to it. Pyrex was perfect. WTF were they thinking?